Granddaughter cures dragon's blindness with earth drops. 13,000 ships appear days later. For as long as she could remember, Kaela had been told not to wander beyond the border stones. They're not just old rocks, her grandmother warned. They're the last barrier between our world and the dragon. But curiosity doesn't listen to warnings, especially not when it's 13 years old and brave. Kaela had always seen the dragon, a hulking silhouette in the distance, curled atop the Evermount, unmoving. Her people called it the Blind God. Legend said it once scorched the skies in defense of the world, until the Great Betrayal, when it was struck blind and cursed into slumber. No one knew how long it had been asleep, only that it breathed, slowly, eternally, and Kaela, unlike the others, didn't fear it. She felt sorry for it. One autumn dawn, Kaela gathered herbs and vials and crossed the boundary. She climbed for hours through frost-laced trees and clouds that clung to her like cobwebs. And then she saw it. The dragon was enormous. Its body curled like mountains around the summit. Its eyes, once golden, were clouded with milky stone. Its scales had dulled from obsidian to ash. But it breathed, and as Kaela approached, it spoke without moving. "You smell of earth." She froze. "You can hear me? I can feel your heartbeat. I hear every footstep. I just cannot see. I want to help. You are a child." "I'm a healer," she said, defiant. "My grandmother taught me." She pulled a small glass bottle from her satchel, filled with liquid so clear it sparkled. Earth drops. Water drawn from the oldest spring, steeped with herbs and touched by moonlight. They were rare, forbidden to waste. She tilted the dragon's great head gently. Its scales were warm like sun-baked stone. With trembling hands, she dropped 3 tiny drops into each of its cloudy eyes. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the wind stopped. The mountain held its breath, and the dragon opened his eyes. They were gold again, alive, piercing, as if stars burned behind them. Kaela took a step back, breath caught in her chest. "You've returned my sight." "Does it hurt?" she asked. The dragon blinked slowly. "No, it is joy. I had forgotten what light looked like." He rose, stretching wings wider than storm fronts. The sky darkened under their span. Below, valleys trembled. Villages looked up in awe and terror. The dragon looked down at Kaela. "What is your name?" "Kaela. I will remember it." Then, with a sound like thunder cracking heaven, the dragon took off and vanished into the clouds. 3 days later, the sky burned with light, not from flame, but from stars falling. Ships, 13,000 of them, not warships, not human. They blotted the sky like a second night. Silver vessels lined with strange symbols. They hovered, humming softly, casting beams of light over forests, oceans, mountains. And then one descended, right at the heart of Kaela's village. The elders panicked. Warriors stood ready. But the ship opened, and they saw her. The dragon, only now, not a beast, but a towering figure cloaked in armor woven from wind and stone, scales polished to mirror the sun. A god reborn. He spoke not in roars, but in words. His voice now shared through a glowing gem in the air. "This child healed me," he said, pointing to Kaela. "And through her, the pact is restored." "What pact?" the elders cried. The dragon's eyes glowed. "You have forgotten your history. You were once the wardens of Earth, a cradle world. A world watched closely by those beyond stars." He gestured to the ships above. "These are the guardians. They waited for my signal. They waited for me to see again. And now we see you." Gasps spread through the crowd. Kaela stepped forward, heart pounding. "Why did they come?" The dragon looked at her and bowed. "To honor you, to recognize your world once more as protected, sacred, Your kindness lit a signal seen across galaxies. A hatch opened, and beings of light and shadow emerged. Tall, robed, eyes like crystal. One of them knelt before Kaela and offered her a scroll. A treaty renewed, the being said, signed by heart and healed by hand. Kaela looked at her grandmother, who had dropped to her knees in tears. You were right to cross the stones, she whispered. That night, every ship lit a lantern in the sky, and Kaela, once a girl who dared climb a mountain, sat beside the dragon, watching her name written in the stars.